Viso, that the first home game after New Year, that gets taken out of the cabinet, it gets filled with champagne, and we all toast the Queen out of it, and it's a ceremony. It still happens to this day. I've had a drink out of it myself. The green one in the centre there was given by Prince Rainier of Monaco, 1961. The two trophies on either side are Northern Ireland Youth Trophies, 1984 and 1985. The black one there you see is a lump of polished coal. That was given by Katowice from Poland, 1987. And I believe actually all the directors got them in miniature as well. It was either that or a lump of steel, there's not much else. The galleon on the wooden plinth, that's one of the first trophies that Rangers ever played abroad for, 1949 when they played against Benfica. And it actually took them 11 hours to fly in a twin Dakota aeroplane from Prestwick Airport to actually get to the game. And Tory Gillick, one of the former players, reckoned he wasn't going to get there. I don't think he'd ever been that long without putting on a betting slip in his life. The large cup you see beside it is the Valencia Cup. Rangers won that at an end of season tour in 1956. A lot of people ask, is it King Billy or is it Lord Lucan and Shergar? It's one of the dancing Lipizzaner horses. It was given by Venner at Pete in 1963. That was a game that Jim Baxter broke his leg in, right? This piece here is a Carrera marble head. Rangers won that in 1974. That was hewn out at the same quarry as Michelangelo used to go and get his stones when he was sculpting. But right, Rangers played Como that day. They won 4-3. And what was significant about that game, that was the great Paolo Rossi actually played that game as a youth. It's a lovely piece of sculpting. Right, I'll move over here. This is a lot of the crystalware which we receive from a lot of the mid-European countries. They're inclined to give crystal as against giving a trophy. The large one in the centre was given by Bratislava, I believe in 1959. The one next to it was given by Standard Liège. The wee one with the red, and the one next to it was given by Steaua Bucharest. This other maroon one was given by Liverpool in 1982 in the completion of the Govan stand. Liverpool won 2-0 that night, Dalglish and Whelan being the scorers. The crystal bladder was given by Mr. Kosygin, the Russian Premier, in 1966 when he came up and viewed the game between Rangers and Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. The onyx ashtray was given by Sir Winston Churchill in 1948 when the Conservatives held a rally in the stadium and they presented it to the club afterwards. The blue one over in the corner was given by Gornick in 1969. That was the night before Dave White gets sacked, the former manager, right? The other one in the middle there is a lovely piece. That was given by Sparta Prague, right? If I remember right, it was 1946. Now, here's a wee funny story. The inkstand used to sit in Mr. Struth's own desk, right? The portrait of the man you see up there. There's a wee funny story goes with it. When Willie Waddle was up signing his contract for Rangers, he was standing in Mr. Struth's office with his overcoat on. Mr. Struth said to him, "Do you wish to play for Rangers, son?" He said, "Yes." So Mr. Struth explained to him, "Well, you've got to put your full name down in the contract." So he put William Tweedy or Waddle in the contract and he handed it to Mr. Struth. Mr. Struth looked at it and he says, "Are you called Willie?" He said, "No, I'm bloody roasting." It's quite funny. And that's cabinet there, and that's all the teams they met on the way to winning the Cup Winners' Cup in Barcelona, 72. Right, I'll take you down. Hello.
There you go.
Right.
Andy's in there.
Right, hi there. Yeah. This is Mr. Bob McPhail's medals, 85 years of age, he still travels up for every game. That's his medals from 1919 to 1939, from Schoolboy International to his last League Cup medal. Now he actually holds 7 Scottish Cup medals there, and the only 2 players are not equal is Billy McNeill, the ex-manager of Celtic, and a player called Willie McMenemy, an inside forward with Motherwell. There is a player, I believe, called Charlie Campbell, who had 8, who played for Queen's Park. This is your Scottish Cup. It took us a win of years to get back again. The one next to it is your league trophy, which was sponsored by B&Q, and this is a vase we won in the last 3 seasons. The one next to that again is the Skull Cup that we won outright, and the wee one in the middle with the ribbons is the Reserve League Championship trophy. Large one there you see here is the Challenge Cup, which is no longer played by the Premier Division. It's played by the reserves, and we won that last season, beating Celtic 1-0. As I usually say, I think it's John Brown that's tackled him and he's ready to fall off. That's the Victory Cup. Rangers played Hibs at Hampden Park, 1946, 132,000 crowd that day. They won 3-1. That year they decided not to play for the Scottish Cup. They named it the Victory Cup to celebrate winning the war. Before that, it was also played for during the war years, and it was known as the Southern Cup, and Rangers won it on 4 occasions. The two large trophies that I'm pointing to are youth trophies. It was won in northern France. Now, the wee one away at the back, which you'll be able to get around with your camcorder, is your replica of your Cup Winners' Cup. The wee one with the sandy plinth on it, right in the middle. Which won in Barcelona. Now, can I say that's not a true replica? Excuse me. The youth official, Mr. Wilson, in here a number of weeks ago, and he told me that he went to the company that's been making it for the last 30 years, and he asked them if they could produce a photograph of the actual cup. They couldn't do so. So they've been actually making the wrong cup for the last 30 years. And they've actually, they've got a firm, I believe, in Switzerland going to make them.
Is there all large in that though?
No. Well, it can be, but you're allowed to do up to a 4/5 scale of any cup, you know, as a replica. What scale that one is, I'm not sure. But saying that, now I'll explain another one over there, but I asked a UEFA official how much it would actually cost to get the proper one. He says between £1,200 and £1,600. So it's not that much. The oldest medal we actually have in a place there is the wee one, the second one, the one at the back. It was presented to a man called D.C. Reid. He's well over 100 years old. This is the Davy Cooper Testimonial Cup. The candelabra, that was presented by the Glasgow District Council. There they are. Got old liver arches to give us. Right, look. Come round and I'll play you around here. The reason why I told you about the value of that is to put a comparison. This is one of the most valuable trophies in the cabinet. It's actually a rotor blade out of a jet aircraft. This is a Volvo jet fighter trophy. Rangers won it in 1977. They won 7-2 that day. I'm not sure of the team that... I can't pronounce the team they met. After the match it was presented to John Gregg and he was told to get it insured. It was worth £8,000 then. So it is quite valuable. The one next to it is a replica of the casket that brought Sir Robert the Bruce's hat back from Spain. 1941, Glasgow's Lord Provost got in contact with Mr. Struth and asked him if he could come up with a suggestion for raising funds for the war effort. Mr. Struth got back to him and said, right, us being the Scottish League winners, we'll play the English League winners who were Preston North End that year, and this is the trophy that Rangers won. And if you actually look at the carvings on it, it's a lovely piece of silverware. It's solid silver, I believe. It's got the Celtic carvings on the front, Glasgow's crest on the top, and the Lambs of Preston on the back. Because it's one of my favourites, I have actually looked into a wee bit of history about the actual piece. And when Sir Robert the Bruce was dying over at Cardross, he made it known, once he died, he wanted his hat taken out and taken to the Holy Land. Once he died, it was duly cut out of his chest, and it was put into this lead casket, which Sir James Douglas wore round his neck. With 200 of his men, he started to make his way to the Holy Land, and when he got to Spain, he fought in a battle against the Moors. Sir James Douglas wrenched it off his neck, and he threw it in amongst the battle, and he shouted, "You led us when you're living, you'll lead us now that you're dead." And the peace got lost, but it's ended up just as mysteriously back in Scotland, where it is to this day, in Melrose Abbey. If you actually look at it, it's a lovely piece of silverware. The cup next to it is the Sir Archibald Sinclair Cup. Sir Archibald Sinclair was the Minister for Air during the war years, and they brought up an RAF side to play against Glasgow Rangers. After the match, they presented it to the club, saying, as long as we kept it in view, we could keep it forevermore. And that's the reason why it's still in the cabinet. Right, this is our centenary and testimonial cabinet. Crystal vase there was given by Hearts. The wee one, second there in the middle, was given by Hibs. And as you usually say, the two wee goblets, that must have entered Partick Thistle's trophy room.